Thank you, Martina. Yeah, I will sit with you first, just to meet you in that position. Yes, thank you very much for coming today. I hope you had good breakfast. We were testing mics with breakfast ideas. I know it sounds challenging, the title of the presentation, but it's actually a very, very practical way of reconnecting with the self and the world. And I was thinking, emerging from yesterday and where we are today, just in the experience of the conference and going through a lot. I decided to change a bit the format of today's sharing. Just because I think we are quite preoccupied and having our eyes stuck on screens. So the screen is here, and I put some things on, but I thought it's really worthwhile to actually just reconnect with that medium briefly, and then expand a little bit of where we are today. Because the presentation on Dances with Sheep is booked as a book presentation. So the work I've been writing about is going to be published and released later this year. We're having quite a slow process with Intellect books, but hopefully it will show somewhere around September, October. But the work with Dances with Sheep is primarily a movement-based methodology through somatic experience of working with the self, refinding ourselves every day anew. So the methodology is called felt thinking, and it's a way of really just melting into the experiential layers of relatedness and connectedness to the world. It of course has a lot of layers, so the format of half an hour will not do justice to what I would love to share with you. But let's try and have a little bit of glimpses there and there, what we can offer, what we can share, because it's not only me sharing the work with you, but you being here and hearing and receiving it and having your own body, minds open, sharing the space, sharing the openness of the space as well. Coming here to this lovely place is all our shared experience. This thing is sliding gently. So I will play a little bit the beginning of the film, just so I can connect you to what's there. If you would love to know about the work a bit more. If you basically the easiest way to connect with the work is Googling my name, Anna Dako, and then going to Dunami Somatics website, which shares a lot about the versatile windows I'm trying to work with movement within the somatic experience, and also expand on how I can support through the work in a therapeutic way of self-discovery and self-inquiry, which is an ongoing ground for us tapping into our sense of well-being and checking on what well-being means for us ongoingly. I work with it as really very open and very deep, maybe even not you know, like every word has its own description in dictionaries. For me, well-being is way beyond those descriptions, and the practice of felt thinking is a lot about opening concepts of what and who and how we are in the world. So I will play the tiny bit so you sense into the work being also filmed and researched in versatile formats, which we share throughout the conference. And then I'll see if we can also glide tiny bit with where we are and how we are today through the layers of the practice. So this is my friend Sheep, which we met together with Martina in Cove Park. This is a beautiful kind of retreat and art center place in Scotland. Yeah, so the title of the work comes from us as a group of practitioners immersing ourselves with and in the landscapes of Scottish hills and lakes and grass and of course all the animals. The presence of sheep, I think a lake here in the south has become so imminent and so there that it simply overtook the work. That's where the title comes from. Let me introduce a little bit of the beginning of the film, and then we'll glide on questions.
Thought of these things, or at least being at the stations that lead to emotions. Do you imagine sensing yourself beyond words or any logical labels, being all real as time? When I choose to take my own self, my true eternal vision takes me on the journey. Following the breath, the movement. And so I wonder if you could see yourself alongside what you feel, with eyes open or closed, in 3 simple steps of relating to life bigger in ourselves. Perhaps there was a time, the time that didn't know the sun. Perhaps the sun was not born yet. And perhaps the earth, as we call it now, comes from those times. Darkness feels much older than the light. I'm lying down with my eyes tightly closed, experiencing the cold breath in through my mouth and the warmth when I exhale. All my senses seem to work much sharper in the dark. They come from that realm. But they were created to meet the light of the outside world, to soften the meeting grounds, to be gentle, to make friends, to protect the dark, and to feed the eternal darkness too. They are both the offspring and the breadwinners, the expressions of the ultimate being, and the receptors of and for all the current states. The push and the pull, and their created dance. No wonder the earth is round, or roundish at least, as that is its grounding balance. Between the push and the pull, the forward and the backward, that creates togetherness and support for each other.
Yeah, so I'll stop here. The film is half an hour long, so I will really invite you to move along with this whenever feels right, and see the context of how that work is being created, and how we all can tap into that. What I wanted to do is guide you a little bit through the midst of this, and then I will share the wrap up as we also shared throughout the research process. Here today with that seating position, and yet we are in an enclosed space with lovely openings to the outside. I was hoping we could have a little bit of a breeze coming in, no? Maybe one or two. I know it's a little bit windy. We are a lovely small group, so I hope we can see where that work dilute you a little bit. So felt thinking, yeah, super, Martinka, thank you very much. So felt thinking is primarily about tapping into where we are in relation to our well-being, and I mean well-being in whatever comes to you at any point in time, because well-being ideally means being well, with wherever we are, whoever we are, however we feel inside. So that those guiding things of how we can shape our understanding and our sensing of well-being is the guide here. What I did with the methodology is just to create a little bit of a path through all that checking in, and the checking in is always in dialogue, in very open movement exchange with whatever is around us as well. So that's sensing into the nature of well-being, and that means the in and the out. So working with movement in somatic experience means for me being able to glide constantly through the parameters of our bodily being, and beyond those parameters. So finding ourselves in everything that is around us as well, and having a good good dialogue and a good exchange of that. So you can sense and you can find that amazing potential that we embody as well, that we live on so many layers of experience. So I was thinking perhaps today, going through, I think for me, it was one day of conference, for you might be already 2 or more, finding ourselves in the sitting position. The first invitation of the work in felt thinking is to check in through the questions of when and where we are. So these are the questions that guide us, or kind of reposition us in how we belong in and with time and space. So it's a very, very basic physical kind of check-in through awakening of our skin, through awakening of our peripheral nervous system. These are the layers that I connect in the work with the embryological development of how we come into being. So from the embryological layers of germ formation, and this the first stage of birth thinking is about awakening the outer layers through sensing into time and space experience. So that's what I call an ectodermic experience of the self and how we are. So let's think about that. I'll be improvising with a mic a little bit. Apparently it has to be quite close to me. So just giving you the guidelines. I would love you to grab a piece of paper, actually, Martin, we could have that shared. And if you pick a crayon or 2 or 3, whatever comes to you, that would be lovely. You can stay seated for now. Do a little bit of a prep just so we can If somebody prefers softer pastels, they're also here to please. All right, so let's see. I will just give us a little bit of a of a framework here of so that will be our first check-in. We'll do it briefly, so please don't expect too much, but it will just give you a sense of the work. So my first invitation to you. The where and the when, yeah. And the invitation perhaps could come just from a few seconds of checking in with silence. I know we've taken in a lot already, so I will try to speak as little as I can. And if we can offer ourselves a few seconds of just silence and checking in. And hopefully that breeze also reaches you. So you can take it in a little bit with your breath, a little bit with your physical presence here in sitting, in opening your skin pores as our largest organ for communication and sensing. You can dilute your vision as well, but treat it as a softening of a window. Yeah, so don't close your eyes completely, keep them quiet in conversation, but soften. So then you change the quality of receiving. And see where your receiving can glide here. Through your sensual apparatus as well. So through all the senses of being here in vision, in hearing, in being touched by whatever meets your skin, traveling through air, your feet touching the floor, us being here together, the qualities of space. And check in, what does that mean to be well, just where you are right now? What does well-being means to you? Maybe there are some qualities that are pulling your attention. And I'll give you a few seconds here in silence and just ask you if you can, through that checking, distill in your sensing what comes as maybe just one or maybe a phrase, but very, very short, ideally one word that comes to your mind. It can be anything. It can be a noun, it can be a verb, it can be an adjective, something that relates to how you are in where and when of being, of well-being. And when you have that word or a phrase in your body mind, try to put it as a question for yourself that starts with either when or where, and put that word in the question. You can write it down or you can think it, however you want to work with it today, whatever feels right. Something that gives you a lovely time frame to your way of being today. Yeah, you can use writing or crayons to help you also externalize your experience. It's lovely to look at things that emerge for us in color, in shape, in, yeah, something a bit more tangible. And then the invitation here, if you are met with that question, is actually to engage with that question in a gentle movement as you can. It can be just adjusting yourself in the chair, or maybe it means changing your position. I glide quite quickly, so I go to the floor very quickly. But do take your time, whether that means adjusting, whether that means opening, whether that means taking it a bit more room internally through your breathing. When and where are you with your well-being today? Yeah, so that's the first invitation of felt thinking in opening our senses to the world. How can we adjust through that first layer of experience? How can we expand on that sense of well? Lovely. I will leave it to it. I would love it to be quite intimate journey for you, so you feel comfortable. We don't have too much time, and I think those precious sensations are there for you to build on throughout the days. Do you feel adjusted? Do you feel like there's some little shift happening? Or is there enough spaciousness within you? So these are things that I would love you to be prompted by, whatever you choose to follow. Great. So let's see, from that invitation, we can glide a little bit deeper. So just to give you a little bit of a metaphorical development of the concept of felt thinking is, how do we glide experientially from that initial sensation of being in space and time and feeling space and time within ourselves to a little bit more of an engaged stage of feeling like we are really here. Yes. So this is where we adjust in felt thinking, deepening what it means for us to actually be here. Yes. And in the embryological development, that's what can be sensed in what I call the mesodermic way of being, where we feel we actually start engaging. You feel the tingling within your muscular system, where your muscles, your cardiovascular system, your heart, and also all the muscle engaged bone and skeletal systems are being also awakened a little bit. So see if you can just tap into awakening all that muscular, the skeletal within yourself. So perhaps you can press a little bit more on the ground. You can feel how the chair meets your body on the back. Feel also how the breath transitions all this and how it influences how your organization, how your inner landscape is also feeling there. So make room for more adjustment here. And I will give you another prompt here, gliding through questions 5, all right. Gliding through questions of what and who. Okay, so that's my second invitation for you. If we could tap just through very, very qualitative, very gentle movement, and yet if you feel like you want to slide off your chair, you feel more than welcome to adjust your seating. The what and the who, the agency of that sense of being. Yes. So where are you with that more psychophysical engagement of being here today, of being here through the conference days, of having traveled from afar? Tap into the nowness of that experience through your psychophysical, and see where your emotional setup is also with that. And again, and use one of the beginnings of what and who to develop a question. Again, the question resonating with that word that came up for you first in relation to how you feel within your well-being. What is the question? What is emerging for you there? And keep growing experientially as well. We don't need to do much, but the engagement is very, very qualitative. Yeah, we are here all, we can really push through things, we are already writing. So then that phase of the mesodermic engagement is with us already. Yeah. And we'll quite quickly, because we are of course bound by time, but okay. And through that experiential deepening, through the mesodermic, I would like you to arrive at the third question. You can choose again from why and how. Yeah, and engage with the word again. Let it expand, let it start with that. And see what is the third question that you can ask yourself that will help you expand your experiential being here and well-being. This is the question that dives deeper into our being of resonating with the ground. So it's very grounding about the sources of our experience, the why. Yeah. And then the how creates some sort of a rooting upwards that also taps quite a lot about, gliding from our experiential sense of, okay, who am I today? What is it that resonates with me internally? You tap into the quality of that journey of why you feel in that way in the first place. So you're tapping a little bit more into the sourcing of your own energy and on your own agency. Are we on half already? Yeah. Yes, you see, so that the challenge here is that, we can really take 5 minutes to glide. For me, half an hour, it's a bit too little to share. But I would love to hear from you where you are at this moment in time, where we have just a few minutes left there. Yeah. So with belt thinking, gliding through those questions that resonate with the depth of our experience is about gliding up and down, and then far out and far in at the same time, and also diagonally. Yes. So the where and the when usually takes us on the horizontal plateaus of experience. We kind of connect in that way, more spatial way of time and space. The what and the who is the emotional of whatever comes in our system, and we have a beautiful system of moving in all directions. So that's the diagonal, and then the how and why is kind of an arising sensation and recognition of that sense of well-being. So that's my little sharing for today. That's what we could do in half an hour, but I would love to hear just a few words of where you are with that. Maybe somebody can share just those words that emerged.
Calming or settling.
Lovely. Mm-hmm. Did you manage to take it a little bit on that journey of questioning and self-inquiry?
I think I got kind of stuck on
Where?
And but where, I guess, where can I put what my life is settling,
Yeah.
Where do you do that?
Yeah, yeah. So the where and the when is our ground for experience. You can take as long as you can. Yeah, and it actually transitions very naturally into the what and the how later. That's all, Martinka. Wrapping up, bringing it. Yeah.
This question with you and there's a lot to it. So thank you very much.
More than welcome. Thanks. Thank you so much. Hope we can reconnect through the work.
Welcome, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Thank you for coming. Set a timer for 30 minutes. It's in two parts, inside and outside. You'll know when we're going to go outside. So if I can just warn you to be prepared that we will be going outside. And welcome to everybody who's online, wherever you are out there. It's lovely to see you in the sky. I am coming to a head in a meadow on a collapsing cliff that is whispering the inevitable to the meadows that are coming after, with their cows, their dogs, their hedgerows, their foxgloves, their walkers, and their forever bowing grasses. We are going down and down and down, and now the drowning comes. I am making this presentation while the front of the house is being peeled away. Ben is drilling the render off. The masonry all falls down and down and down and down into the skip. I am meditating in my workroom. The relentless drilling disrupts my sky thoughts, and my breathing is silenced by the din. I think the ripples will be smoother, and that irritating silicon-filled crap will have gone. It will cost quite a bit, but it will be worth it in the long run. It will look lovely once it's finished, says my neighbour. Besides, you'll never have to paint it again, says the workman. The noise can be heard right up the street, and I am embarrassed by all the attention. I balance the emissions in my head and guess it won't be too bad. I am in the past, future, and in the present moment. I am in a process of making anew, like the plants in the garden, with the help of all creatures, great and small, along with Uncles Tom, Dick, and Harry. I am showing off my June number in this beautiful indoor space, Studio 6. I am an exhibit At the Southport Flower Show, I am a doughy tuna bagel from Southport's washed out food and drink festival. I am a fluttering, faded remnant from a Jubilee Street party. Will I get it together for the symposium? Back in the 80s and 90s, Dartington had its own West End status. Dartington occupies a space in my memory like a holy of holies, a grail, a place of unachievable movement making, a stage I could never occupy. Yet now, strangely enough, here we are. I am playing out 60 or so years that seem like only yesterday. Where have I been? Asleep? Or have I just woken up? Service is the expression of the awakened heart. I do this for myself alone. When we serve others, we serve ourselves. Jack Caulfield, quoting Gandhi. I have now somehow become an elected councillor. That's the kind of service, yet I don't always feel awake when I'm wearing that particular dress. Carran Waterfield, quoting herself. Life is a meadow that over time gets disrupted.
One man went to mow a meadow. One man and his dog spot a bottle of pop. Old Mother Riley had a cow, went to mow her meadow. Definition of meadow. Land that is covered or mostly covered with grass, wild flowers blooming in the meadow, especially a tract of moist, low-lying, usually level grassland. English, Middle English, medwu, meadow, grassland kept for hay, pasture field, water field, going back to Old English, madway.
No, I have only been there 2 weeks for me to remember it well. So I made plans last night before diary, 1971. I thought I would try and get a glimpse of the countryside I miss so much, a kind of make-believe supper. I wanted so much to see the beautiful horses that I could see grazing in the fields in the distance from the hall window of our house. 5 or 6 beautiful horses. So I picked up 2 apples and put them in that. And when Mum asked me what I was doing, feeling the fresh air in my body, I ran down the field and sniffed. As I walked over Whiteland's land, I suddenly remembered the swifts which always occupied this area. I remembered Mandy saying that they swoop to try and attack. I honestly don't believe this anymore, as I believe they do it just to annoy you, really. They know they're not offended with their wings. I soon reached the edge of the field in which the horses were grazing, only to find it all fenced off. I then realised that I should have thought about it before. Of course, every penicillin is. I passed the feeling.
Disruption. I am stopping. I am splitting. I am reversing. I am betraying. I am arresting. I am an uprising. I am rising up. I am displaced. Definition of disrupt. Transitive verb. To break apart, rupture. 3 periods of faulting disrupted the rocks. To throw into disorder, demonstrators trying to disrupt the meeting. To interpret the normal course or unity of disrupted a bridge game by permanently hiding up the ace of spades. To cause upheaval in an industry or market. You can read more about that on Merriam-Webster-Dictionary.com. And here we are. Here we are. Here we are. And we're all here. And we're all waiting. A Distant Divorce plays the old tunes from 1973. Out of a pandemic, a second parent dies. Now we can't put it all back together again. I love you. In a place where there's no place or time. I love you, for in my life, you are a friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember when we were together, we were alone, and I was singing this song for you. You were alone, and I am singing this song for you. We're going for a walk to watch the sunrise over the city. Oh, Rachel. On your marks. Get set. Go. Don't worry. Those of you who are online, don't worry. We're going out, but you've got something different to do. See you later. Well, I won't see you later because we'll stay outside. Trudy,
Nelson, Jenny,
It's
Sam,
all wide open.
Sid, Priest, Seamus, Ben,
Stop.
Zach,
It's all wide open.
Charlie.
Shut up now. Shut up now and listen. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? You were laughing yesterday. No. No. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? You were laughing yesterday. These are the well-funded ones, the ones that are well-rehearsed, precise, got a good title, not like this one, Disrupted Meadow. That's the title of this piece, Disrupted Meadow. She's from here, but she came before. This one and this one. Follow the stone.
Tinker, tailor, soldier, sailor, rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief. I am the daughter of a painter and decorator and a sailor from Bedworth in Warwickshire. I'm the granddaughter of a granite set maker and a cavalry soldier from Stony Stanton in Leicestershire, and a canvasser, a wireless and cycle salesman, and an airman from Norwich in Norfolk. I am the great-granddaughter of a quarryman from Mount Sorrel in Leicestershire, and a basket maker, a journeyman, and a soldier from Islington in London, and a farm labourer from Stanway in Essex, and a master carpenter from North Walsham in Norfolk. I am the great-great-granddaughter of a granite quarryman from Rode in Northamptonshire, and a groom and a farmer of 8 acres from Heneg Lewis in Anglesey, and a bricklayer from Hoxton in Suffolk, and possibly a cabinet maker from Cornwall, at least I think so, and someone who got her pregnant from somewhere in Essex, maybe, and a farm labourer and a horseman from Bentley in Suffolk, and a wood and stone carver and a freeman from Norwich in Norfolk, and a something or
And the great-great-granddaughter.
I am the great-great-great-granddaughter of a quarryman and an overlooker of granite quarries from
Split.
in Leicestershire.
Split me. Split me. We're split. We're in a split. It's splitting. Everything's splitting. Everything's breaking. Everything's falling apart. We're all falling down in now. We're all falling down and down, down and down, down and down and down and down and down and down. Down to where we're down, going down, going down, going down, going down, going down, going down, 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 down. My mum worked in a dairy. But here they are. They all turn. In other fields, there was a cow that wouldn't yield. The reason why it wouldn't yield, it didn't like it other field. on the top.